Hi everyone, it's Travis. So basically, everyone currently living in the Western Hemisphere is an immigrant or descended from immigrants since the human race originally appeared in Africa. The population is rising and the world is beginning to seem crowded, but some people over history has tried to keep people out, but it just results in illegal immigration. 3% of the world's population is currently living outside their own native country. Of this number, one-third migrated from a developing nation to a developed one. History Laws from EBSCO host website breaks down the following history of laws for the U.S. Initially, the U.S. government encouraged open immigration to settle as much territory as possible. And this was at the beginning of the country's history when we had so much land. The Native Americans were dying out from disease and all that, so they wanted everyone to come immigrate to the United States. But after the Civil War, the states began to pass their own immigration statutes. And then most of the early immigration laws were instituted in order to control the composition of the United States population, such as European and Caucasian descent. The U.S. government was also concerned with morals, so Congress passed laws restricting the immigration of prostitutes, chemicals, mentally ill, and financially unstable persons. But from 1900 to 1921, Congress established a quota system which granted permission to set a number of individuals from each ethnic group to immigrate. People from most Asian nations were excluded entirely. The number of immigrants from each ethnic group was determined according to census. That is basically the basis of what our immigration policies are now set on. But in 1952, we repealed any restrictions based on ethnic populations, and we opened immigration to people from every nation. So in 1996, Congress doubled the number of Border Patrol agencies, added fences in areas with heavy traffic, and increased penalties for harboring or aiding illegal immigrants. Currently, there are many controversies and many politicians as well as lawmakers weighing in on fixing the current influx of immigration. According to the United States Citizen and Immigration Services website, we have two top countries with the highest number of waiting list registrants in 2012, and they are Mexico is number one with 1,300,000 people applying for citizenship, but we're only allowed to give out 50,000. Philippines comes as number two with 400,000 applicants, and their limit is set at 50,000. But so if someone wants to become a U.S. citizen legally, what do they have to do? You have to get a green card, and the green card you can get is through family, a job, or refugee or asylum status. And after you get a green card, your next steps are to apply. But you have to be a green card holder for at least 5 years immediately preceding the date of the filing of the forms. You have to have lived within the state for at least 3 months prior to filing the application. You have to have continuous residence in the United States for at least 5 years. And you have to reside continuously within the United States from the date of application up to the time of naturalization. You have to be able to read, write, speak English, and have a knowledge and understanding of U.S. government and history, also known as civics, which they take a civics test. You have to be a person of good moral character, and that means, no felons. If you're in jail, don't apply while you're in jail. And there's been a number of polls conducted by Gallup organization that says that the majority of Americans favor immigration reform. There appears to be little consensus, however, on the manner in which the government should formulate and implement reforms. I found the following facts from a Border Security report that the governor of the state of Texas was briefed on in September 2008. He was briefed on powerful and ruthless Mexican crime cartels that dominate the U.S. drug and human smuggling business, and they use former military commandos and transnational gangs to support their operations on both sides of the border. The citizens who live in smuggling corridors along the border suffer daily consequences of smuggling-related violence, burglary, vandalism, and trespassing. Drug and human smuggling organizations victimize illegal aliens in search of economic opportunities in the U.S. An unsecured border also provides potential terrorists and supporters an opportunity to enter the U.S. undetected. The federal government has not sufficiently staffed and equipped a border patrol to secure the Texas-Mexico border between the ports of entry. The Texas Border Security Strategy was established by Governor Perry in 2006, and it has been successful in reducing crime and enhancing the border security. The governor's strategy framework included increased local and state patrols, centralized coordination of patrol operations, centralized intelligence to drive operations, and leverage technology. The cornerstone of the governor's strategy was to substantially increase the patrol presence along the Texas-Mexico border. The governor also committed National Guard troops to support border security operations. This strategy was successful. Since these operations began, the index crime in the border counties was reduced by 65%, and the illegal alien apprehensions were reduced by 45%. Border security operations are in part responsible for the disruption of the U.S. drug supply from Mexico. The cost of drugs that enter Texas through Mexico, such as cocaine, has increased, while the purity has decreased, indicating an impact on the drug supply in the U.S. Reductions in all crime in areas in Texas counties that border Mexico should be a measure of performance. The illegal alien apprehension rate in Texas by fiscal year since 2005 demonstrates an overall reduction of illegal alien apprehensions by 66%. Why do people immigrate to the United States? Well, basically for laws and freedoms that the U.S. gives us. People can move freely around, you can get any job you want, you can go to any church you feel like, and you can express your opinion freely. Many other countries do not have this freedom. For example, in Germany, you cannot go to a university unless you scored good in one high school exam. In the U.S., as long as you have the money, and sometimes even without it, you can go to a university. I want to read to you a story from a website that gathers stories on immigrants called My Immigrant Story. My name is Sophia. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm 14 years old. I was born in Alexandria, Virginia. My dad was deported from USA to Morocco. For the first 2 years, we were homeless and my brother did not go to school. It was the worst. I tried to commit suicide like 4 times, and for a month I was sleeping in the hospital. Now my grandparents are paying for our food and my medicine and some of our school money. But now we have a big problem because my mom's green card doesn't work anymore because she stayed in Morocco more than 2 years. There are many facets to today's immigration: ever-changing laws, drugs, crime, freedom from past countries, and family separation. What do you think after hearing all this information? My own assessment is that there is a lot of confusion about the laws and that there is a lot of pain that goes along with America's policies on immigration. Thank you.